Hello my beautiful hammerheads and welcome back to another Black Library review, part 29, Ahriman, Exile. So it's been 10 years since I read this book, and sadly I don't have it anymore, so I bought the audiobook version, and I'm glad I did. Because there is so much stuff I forgot about this. So in the timeline, it plays, of course, after the Horus Heresy and, of course, before Primarch Rising and yada yada. So everything in between. And we have a very depressed and, yeah, he's not the Ahriman you would expect in the beginning. So this is not a book for the uninitiated. If you do not know anything about the Thousand Suns, here's a quick recap because it's important for the character of Ahriman. Thousand Suns, every Space Marine of them is a Psyker. They're basically the anti-Grey Knights. And during the Horus Heresy, they did not know that they're working with demons and stuff. Magnus, the Primarch, blows stuff up, which he's not supposed to. The Space Wolves are sent to destroy them. Prospero, their homeworld, is destroyed. The Thousand Suns have a condition named the Flesh Change. Ahriman wants to find a cure, builds a secret cabal with his closest allies and the strongest Psykers in the Legion. Everything goes wrong. Only the strongest Psykers survive. The rest of the Legion turns to dust and their souls are trapped inside their armor. They're basically not there anymore and they need a Psyker to move around and do stuff. Ahriman is at fault. He just wanted to help everyone in his Legion, his brothers, and he messed up. That's the point. Okay. Totally unprofessional recap. I missed a lot of things, but this is not important right now. So, Ahriman, after his up-messery, he was sent into exile with his brothers who were conspiring with him for the spell to cure the Legion. So, in all those thousands of years, he just isolates himself from the warp. He's basically a simple space marine, and he's in the service of, over the thousands of years, in multiple of war bands, as renegades, and yeah, he's just a grunt. And he was formerly the first librarian of the Thousand Suns. There was no one greater in the regular Marines in the Legion. Now he's just a Marine. As the book came out, I had a discussion with a friend of mine about this, and he really did not like this because depressed Ahriman, one of the greatest minds in the 40k universe, the problem solver, basically the Riddler in the Batman universe, and he's just a depressed, emotionless, unmotivated kind lump in armor, which is basically the Legion right now, just that he still has flesh and bones. But it's totally understandable. He is at fault for the destruction, for the curse of the Legion. So yeah, it totally makes sense. And it takes him about half of the book to build up his character again. So, okay, I'm Ahriman. I am Azek Ahriman, and I know what to do. I have a plan. But all this needs a catalyst. And of course, the catalyst is at the beginning. He's just a simple grunt, an acolyte in a Chaos Marine warband, of course. He's an acolyte to Psyker, who thinks, oh, I know all the stuff, I'm so great. And Ahriman is just like, oh no, you're such an idiot. this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong. You're supposed to do this if you want to do it right. And the other guy's just like, haha, I'm the greatest. And all the while, another ship appears. And on that ship is an original Thousand Suns Legionnaire with 2 rubric marines. And of course, the Legionnaire is just like, that's our guy. Because he's looking for Ahriman. And yes, and Ahriman is not going with his name because there are people who might recognize him. He's in exile, but that does not change the fact that he's being hunted by foes and old allies. So he goes by the name of Hawkos. And of course, the original Legionnaire is just like, okay, I want him. Everything turns to crap. They start fighting. Ahriman, of course, survives because, yeah, it's the beginning of the book. And all the while they fight, so the warband against the 3000 Suns. Ahriman is just like, okay, where's my master whom I an acolyte with? Oh, there he is. And with his mind, just breaks the mind of the Psyker. I love this. It's just like, okay, I haven't used my skills for thousands of years, but it's enough to break you. So, but John French has a great writing style. I don't know if I'm correct with this, but back in the day, he was not seen as one of the better authors. I can't remember why. Because after re-listening to this book, it's great. There isn't much fighting in it. There is backstabbing in it, uneasy allies. The demons are very well written. Tzeentch is totally not there, but he's there. So everything is so between the lines. You know that Tzeentch is there. The demons of Tzeentch are there. And everything Ahriman does is kind of hinted that he's under the influence of the changer of ways. So, with his uneasy allies, there is first the pilot of the small ship. He and his other allies are on. The pilot is a former mechanicum. Yeah, pilot. And she's basically like, oh no, I'm not doing the teaching stuff. I just want to merge with my ship. I want to be the ship. And this is forbidden in the mechanicum. But she doesn't care. All the while she's like, oh, you said you are Hawkos, but now you are Ahriman. And all you do is sketchy stuff. I don't trust you. Okay, first uneasy ally. The second uneasy ally is his former master, the one who tried to teach Ahriman stuff about the warp and Psyker stuff. With his broken mind, he's just like a slave to the whole crew. Yeah, he's also there and no one trusts him and he trusts no one. And the last allies are former loyalists. I don't know how to say this. They are from a Space Marine chapter who got wiped out by the Inquisition and the Grey Knights. We don't know what chapter they are from. They have brazen armor, and that's all I can remember about them. So there is a librarian and 2 regular Marines. And of course, the librarian over time gets more and more involved with Ahriman. Also, they don't trust him again. And Ahriman is kinda uneasy with them, but he tries to teach the librarian stuff. So I really enjoyed the interaction between all those people. All the while, the mission is to gather information on who sent the original Legionnaire after Ahriman. Ahriman has a notion of okay, who might it be? And I love the revelation of the character because he's one of my favorite characters in the Horus Heresy. Funny story for that, he wears the armor which Ahriman now has. So Azek Ahriman does not start with the armor we know him. The problem with this book is I can't tell you much without spoiling so many things. It is very well written. You get to know the mind of Azek Ahriman. Literally, because there are a few points in the story in which Ahriman just goes into his own mind. It's just like, okay, there is this memory, there is this memory, there is this memory, and he just discovers stuff for himself again. And there are a lot of passages in which you get the feeling that the curse of the spell he invoked with his brothers is still not gone for those who avoided the dustening. At one point, they are just walking somewhere and he's like, oh, I can't move. And he has this feeling of, oh no, he's just watching his armor and he cannot move of his own volition. So this was kind of scary, and he's basically a spectator inside his armor. That was really great. Of course, there are flaws in the story. There has to be, because no story is really perfect. For me, there isn't much negative points in this novel. One would be the main antagonist, for me obvious reasons, because sadly Mr. French could have done more with him. I think he's a little bit underutilized. There was so much potential, but he did not use it. There's also something in the ending which bothered me a little bit. I thought it was too early to give him so much power. Of course, a character is only so powerful as the author wants. But for me, it was a little bit too fast. Maybe that's nitpicking, but that is my feeling. So I really enjoyed this book. It just reminded me why I love The Thousand Suns. The tragic characters of the Horus Heresy who just wanted to help, but did the wrong things. Even with all their knowledge and wisdom, they were not able to see what they are doing, because the changer of ways does his thing. It's tragic and I love it. That's why the Thousand Suns are the only Chaos Marine Legion I really like. From my scale, from burn it to devour it, I say devour it, especially if you are a Thousand Suns Tzeentch fan. However, if you are new to the 40k universe, read it at a later stage. Maybe even read the Horus Heresy novels first, so you get more understanding for the characters and why they are the way they are. Ultimately, in the end, for me, this book is a 9 out of 10 iridescent feathers on a raven. So what are your thoughts on this book? Please leave your thoughts and questions in the comment section down below. I am keen to know what you have to say. And while you're down there, do all the YouTube stuff, because hitting buttons is fun. Have a great day, my friend. Stay fantastic. Stay hydrated. And I will see you in the next video. Bye!